And it used to be you would get caught with a little bit of meth, you'd get arrested, you'd go to jail, and you'd be in jail for a few weeks. You'd get cleaned up and sober, and then you get released again, and you'd probably go back to smoking it again. Right. But you'd have these breaks that were built in through the justice system. That stopped 11 years ago, and so you have these people that have smoked meth every day for 11 years, and what happens is you go insane. That's what all these people, the quote-unquote homeless problem we have, it's not a housing crisis, it's a drug crisis. And these people have gone insane because we, as the government, have essentially said that it's okay to do that. And that's where the government needs to like step in. If your life has spiraled out of control to the point to where you're shitting on the sidewalk in front of somebody's business, there needs to be some sort of entity that comes in and takes you away and says, you're not allowed to do that. Like, you get to go to timeout now. And like the instinct to decriminalize comes from compassion. They go, you shouldn't criminalize addiction. And part of me agrees. If you have a meth problem and you're not stealing or breaking things, I don't think you should be locked now in a place with like violent criminals. But at the same time, you shouldn't be allowed to like live on the sidewalk and like shit on the sidewalk in front of somebody's business.
Yes.
Like so there's an in-between ground. And I think that prior to 2014, like the system wasn't perfect, but it was built in that you had these breaks that the people would like stop using. And it would like a lot of the time they would finally get their shit together. Like you get arrested enough times that there comes a point like a, rock bottom moment where people are like, yeah, I'm dumb and I'm ready to try to get out of this and go into recovery. But part of that process was forcing them to be like holding them accountable over and over again. And we don't have that anymore.
We don't. It
just manifests in all these different ways. Like I was president of the city council meetings when we were talking about it, and they were saying, oh, there's too many vehicle versus pedestrian, vehicle versus bicyclist accidents. That's because they're just driving too fast. We need to slow down the drivers. It has nothing to do with the speed of the drivers. It's because there's people that are like fucked up on meth and fentanyl just wandering into the street and getting run over.
Oh, yeah. There's so many meth amphibians just on those streets right there.
Meth amphibians. Yeah.
Instead of like identifying and telling the truth about what the problem is, which this is a drug problem, it's not a traffic control problem. It's a fucking drug problem. But instead of being honest about that, they're like, oh no, it's the we're just driving too fast. If we had less lanes and slowed the traffic down, then that would solve it, which hasn't at all solved it. And again, maybe it's not the perfect system to be putting people in jail and locking them up over an addiction problem, but it's a whole hell of a lot better than letting them rot and fucking die on the street and get run over by cars and overdose and all of that.